contract. We'll wait here.
Okay, then, thanks. Let's go with the passage. HR.
I just want to give them a little bit of introduction for y'all. This is Kathy and Mike, and they're with Passion HR. As y'all know, Jordan and I have been researching and looking for over a year now at companies for to redo, I guess, our classification, compensation, and personnel policy. We have reached out to numerous companies. We started last year and had to stop, put it on hold, and we came back this year and did some more work, and we've actually spoken with two separate companies. And after speaking with them, me and Jordan would like to recommend that we use Passion HR. I think they do a good job. They have the know-how to do what it is that we need done. And they're ready to go. And I will be honest with you, one of the main reasons that we ended up choosing them is Kathy has actually worked with the personnel board in Jefferson County. So she understands counties and our needs as far as how we need to work as a government organization. So I'm gonna let them just give a little background and a little information. If y'all got any questions, you got a copy of what they submitted and everything to the package.
Thank you. Hey, good evening.
Good evening, man.
I'm Mike Bain, and I am president and founder of Passion HR. We started out in Huntsville, so I'm from Huntsville. We've expanded and do work around the region, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, but we're excited to get a call from the HR department, the personnel department here at Pike County. So the proposal before you is, to rewrite a basic handbook and to do right job classifications for roughly 43 job classifications that you have within the county. And from what we understand, about 45 employees in the sheriff's department, 30 in roads and transportation, 11 in revenue, and 8 in probate, and 7 in just the commission, supporting the commission. So what we hope to do is to come in and help do write job descriptions for all positions, write a new employee handbook, and then take those job descriptions and create a pay grade classification for you, for the commission to use. It's typically an internal document from personnel when they're talking with employees about, growth within the commission, career growth. And so we put together a bid, but I wanted to introduce Kathy. Hopefully Kathy she's an attorney, but she's also a senior HR consultant. She will be the project lead, so I just wanted to introduce her to you as well.
Thank you. Hi, thank you first of all for this opportunity, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to serve you as well. I have almost 10 years of experience with the Personnel Board of Jefferson County, and also 16 years total within the government system of Jefferson County. In the Personnel Board, I worked in classification and compensation. And for the Personnel Board, we had 26 member jurisdictions under us, one of those including Jefferson County and Birmingham as well. So we had all of those, and we had 934 job classifications. We had over 10,000 incumbents. So this is nothing like it was on that scale, and we would have to take it out in parcels and how we did a classification study. But in working in that department, I was very familiar with the job family, the groupings, and how the job description should be written and developed, and also how they should be slotted based on pay grades and how they also were slotted within the system. If there was a need to have new classifications developed, say within a certain job family, then we also could take that into consideration and make sure that we looked at the entry level and then looked at the senior level to make sure if we needed to build in smaller levels, or if we needed to collapse some of those job descriptions, which we did. We had 31 different job descriptions in the clerical admin family that many of them were redundant. We collapsed those down into 9. So, and again, it's based on how you want to go as a commission, how you want to proceed with that. And I'm very well versed in that arena. So I'm looking forward to working with the team here and helping you get to where you want to go, goal-wise.
Question?
Yes.
Comment?
So really quickly, because I think, between Mackenzie and Jordan, they've really just go over how you go about this. We'll go through interviews, and because obviously we've got some some job classifications that are out there and some that probably don't exist that need to be, how do you come to understand that?
Well, actually, it's basically gathering the data, looking at all of the current job descriptions that you have right now, which I believe we have about 43, and about 100 employees, looking at those to determine if there's any overlap or anything that maybe we can condense, where that way we streamline everything. Look at the various pay grades as well that's assigned to the current one. So look at what your current status is, where your current policies are, also your handbook, which hasn't been updated at least since 1998. So we definitely need to make sure we take that into consideration as well. But as I go through the job analysis period, that's what we would need to do. And also look at the incumbents, the people that are in the actual positions for that job description. Look to see through interviews if their duties are consistent with their current class specification. You may have some that are working out of class. So that's something else that we would need to put as a recommendation in our report, that maybe certain incumbents or maybe, maybe they should be looked at in another classification based on the duties they're performing. So that's part of that analysis. And then as we go through that, then you start building this is where we need to maybe create some classifications. Maybe we've got something that needs to be in the middle of that job family that allows for some type of career growth within the system, to where that way it's not just entry level and then there needs to be a mid-level, maybe a journeyman, seasoned level position. And again, it will be based on how you want to go, as a commission, if that's how you want to grow, or and that's something that, working with the team here, we can better identify. And then once we get the classifications nailed down, then we look at the pay to determine, are we competitive with the current pay grade? And again, it's going to be based on how you want to go as a commission. Do you want to adjust the salary table up, or do you want to adjust it down, depending on the data as it comes in? So like within the personnel board, we had like pay grades. But if you were in Jefferson County, that was like our benchmark, whereas some jurisdictions paid more, like Trustful, Vestavia, because they could. Of course, they didn't have as many people either, like Birmingham or Jefferson County, which was in the middle. And some paid less because of what they could afford based on across the board. So again, it's going to be based at that point in time how you want to go once we get the numbers, how you want to adjust the salaries. So, and then, of course, the handbook and the policy edits as well. So again, I'll be working very closely, Ashley and Charlie, with the team here, and communicating with you.
Anybody else? You got anything to add?
We'll keep y'all involved with everything that's going on, so you'll know what's going on, where we are.
Have you worked for another county similar, close in the size of Pike County?
I've worked for cities. Now, Jefferson County was the county that I was in with the Jefferson County Personnel Board. And even, the Personnel Board is one of the oldest personnel boards in the nation. And Jefferson County fell under our review. But as far as another county, no ma'am. But cities that were probably comparable in size would be like a Trustful or Midfield or Fairfield or Bessemer. They all fell under the Personnel Board as well. It's just a very big system.
Thank y'all for being here. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Engineer.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
We have a couple of items under new business. We have our monthly project update, and we also have a proposed, some basically revised driveway policy there. The main issue being the current metal pipe prices that are kind of going through the roof, so we're just trying to do something a little more reasonable there. And then under current business, we have personnel recommendations for our operator group opening, and we also, I'll mention, we have a 6-month probation coming up, so we'll bring that back to you at your next meeting. And then finally, we have under equipment, we're just asking to change a budgeted item a little bit. We have rubber tire roller in there, and we want to change that to a steel wheel roller. Just our situation has changed a little bit since the product was made last year, so. And then also advertise for bids for a used one.
Okay.
That's it.
Questions and comments for the engineer?
I have a question, I do have a comment. I just want to thank you for the work you did to the road. I know I called you while you was on vacation. Apologize for that. But you and your guys got out there, you all, your team, and took care of that problem for us, and we're grateful. I heard from so many people how thankful they are that you got that done.
Thank you, Willie. Hopefully it will help.
Absolutely, thank you.
Anybody else?
Chairman,
Yes, sir.
where we need to pick back up on the roll-off dumpster, carry that conversation down the road.
I think we left that, Kenzie and our last step was we got some cost estimates together for that program, and that's kind of where we left it. I was at a meeting, at a different meeting out of town, at your last commission meeting, so I wasn't here. The one before that, I don't think we discussed it, if I remember. I guess we just need to bring out the cost estimates that we came up with and talk about, I guess, go from there, about what we want to do.
If you could bring that to the next meeting, if y'all could maybe get that out to the six of us prior to the next meeting, so we could be digesting it and have that on as an agenda item in the next meeting, that we could try to carry it done, and follow it off on that. I appreciate that.
Anybody else? Thank you, Russell.
Yes, sir, thank you.
EMA's not in the call in.
Yeah, he had a,
The attorney is here, he's not in here right now. We'll come back to him after a while. I'll be at the regular meeting. Does any commissioner have anything to report at this time? Share anything on the legislative session meeting?
Yeah, we should have a final report from the ACCA probably next week, I guess. They're just kind of reviews all the things that things that were on their list of approving or that they were trying to approve to, I want to say, 9 session, so.
Thank you. Okay, we finish with this legislative report.
I'm gonna skip over new business for just a second, if that's okay, y'all. We really need Alan in here for that. But under current business, we have the personnel for the commission office. After we conducted interviews, I would like to recommend that we hire Brayton Martin as the administrative assistant. We had a couple really good candidates, so but I was impressed. So it's kind of a little bit of a hard decision to make. But other than that, that's all I have on that.
Who is going?
As soon as they can. Tomorrow would be great. I do think I have spoken with her, make sure that it's something that she would accept if y'all were to vote to hire her. And she said as soon as possible. I feel like she would probably try to go ahead and do this week. To where she would be able to leave where she's currently working at. Okay. So just as soon as she can get here, that would be wonderful. I believe that's only all that I have. Anything other than the classification, compensation, personnel policy.
Okay. Well, the other thing we have, the attorney is, I guess, is working on that right now.
Yeah, I
To present to us at the regular meeting.
to see if they're ready to go in here or not, so she's checking.
Go ahead.
Administrator Paul, working with that. The Invest in Alabama, not necessarily the ACCA program, but the funding. Could you catch us up to speed and kind of where all of that is? We've been given a lot to read and digest.
Yes, there has been 151 pages, I think, was released by the Federal Treasury. I've read some, not all. I've actually spoken with a couple of people that are going, that are trying to help me kind of interpret what some of the information is. It really lends itself to a lot of what we were kind of told before about the different programs that it could possibly be used for, and then like some water projects, internet broadband projects, that kind of stuff, which is kind of what was in there before. I was kind of hoping that we might have something in there with infrastructure too, but we did not include that. There is a huge section with probably just going to be a lovely mathematical equation on, one of the important things is the revenue losses that we would have sustained over the time period. So we've got to get that kind of nailed down pretty close to how we need to do to get that figured out, how we would do that. As far as revenues, it's not going to be so simple as I know I can stand here and tell you that we have lost in lodging taxes. I mean, that's obvious, I'm sure, to everybody. But it won't be as simple as comparing the average of the last 3 years of lodging tax to what we collected last year and getting the difference out of it. There was a portal that was opened up on the Treasury Department page. I went in, filled it out, sent them all kind of crazy information so that they know I was a real person, I guess, trying to get the money from the county. They had sent me an email telling me that it should be deposited within the next few days. So I'm working with the bank to try to follow and make sure that it gets to the right account because we need to keep it separate from any other money. So we're trying to follow and make sure that they do get it to that correct account. As soon as I know that we have it, I'll let you know. But as far as we really need to, the ACCA portion of it and what they've offered to do for counties, I still don't have a recommendation whether it's not to do that at this point in time. I think that what we need to do before we decide if we need their help or not, we need to decide what projects we might want to do.
Chairman, in the past, did some of these things, not necessarily this, but, with the jail, the Sunset Road Department, we formed some committees to try to come up with some ideas for the commission. I mean, I think this would be a good opportunity to try to get three of us to work with McKinsey and the other department heads that would be on the floor. I mean, just in my reading, and I realize there's a hard break between us and the water authority, but we've got, it's something I had not talked to Oliver in private about, but I would love for a conversation piece with the rest of the commission. You and I talked last year about the dirt roads that you couldn't properly maintain because of the number of private water lines that ran through them. I'd love for you to refresh that, pull that back up, and so that we could, there's some issues that we have as a commission through the road department where we can't properly maintain roads because over time people have laid, some of them have 7 or 8 private water lines running down the county dirt road. We've had some issues economic development wise with water. We've brought all these over 1,000 new jobs in the past several years, and we've got issues in certain parts of the county where people even want to develop their inadequate water. I think that's an easy fruit to pick if we figure out how to help handle that. But then there's a lot of things that need to be looked at too. And I'd love to see us try to put some of that together, bring back some recommendations to the commission.
I was just going to say that that Commissioner Pearson and I have a meeting coming up with Brundage, and one of the topics of that is kind of streamline what are they going to do, what are we going to do, how do we work together on some of that. There's a lot. City of Troy's got the same problem. Banks, Goshen, where's it fit? And that's another factor we can figure into is how do we don't want to duplicate things that some of these towns and cities are trying to do as well.
I'll reach out there from Goshen County Council and get some feedback and bring it on.
All right. Anything else?
That's going to be all I have other than
Yeah, I was going to just ask really quickly, give us a real quick overview of what y'all are doing with the 200-year committee. I don't know what the proper name is. It might be the first thing to start with the proper name for the committee.
It's the 200th birthday celebration for Pike County, where there's been a committee formed. There's quite a few people on it. Mr. Pearson's on there with us. So we had a couple meetings so far. We talked and decided that probably a really good idea would be to have maybe a few really nice celebrations. And so we've done a couple things, but we also still want to be a part of just everyday regular things that are going around already in the county. The City of Brundage has the Peanut Butter Festival every year. We've reached out and they have got us set up for a place to have a kind of a presentation there. We're working on getting some photographs from the Pike County from a long time ago to now, all kinds of times. So we want to be able to provide that and some history at different activities. The Pioneer Museum has Pioneer Days. They've actually included, the City of Troy has helped us develop a few logos. And so we've got that. They're going to include, the Pioneer Museum is having Pioneer Days, and I can't think of the name of it, but she just sent me a copy of the flyer, Miss Barbara Tatum at the Pioneer Museum, that they're included, and we're going to try to have our I guess it's just a little set that will go around to the county at different events that happen around the county. So we want to be able to do that. We also are looking into in the fall doing with the Johnson Center for the Arts. They want to do kind of a showcase for artists from Pike County and have some different pieces from artists. So they're reaching out to some artists that are actually from Pike County to have kind of a show there. Then the City of Troy, they have some regular downtown concerts. So we're going to try to have a birthday party downtown. We don't have a date set for that yet, but we want to have an actual birthday party for Pike County there. The biggest thing, the culmination of everything that we want to do, Pike County was, I guess, signed in the legislature in December of, I guess 1821, that would be 200 years ago. And so we want to hopefully they're working on getting a historic marker. The original seat of Pike County was actually in China Grove. And so I learned that new. I didn't know clue. I thought it was in Monticello. Didn't have a clue. So it is in China Grove, so I've learned all of this. So we would like to, it was a Townsend family, I think it was at their house, is what the first meeting place was. So we're trying to locate a spot for the historic marker and get that into place. That takes some time to get that done, and we don't have a lot of time for how long it takes to get that done. So we're hoping maybe this week to get something ready to submit to the Historical Commission for the state of Alabama to get that okay on it, so that we can order a marker to go up there. So we're hoping that that'll be what we do, and any other things that happen around town, we're wanting people to know, reach out to us. We'd love to kind of put up a show of the history. We've got some older people and younger people that are real enthusiastic about the history of Pike County and can tell you all kinds of things. There's a guy that's not even from Pike County that he can tell you all kinds of things that I did not know. So we also are planning on going to the schools. The Extension Office is working with us to do kind of a virtual history lesson for Pike County, and maybe send that out to a certain age group at all the schools. We've talked to the county board, city board, and they said yes, they'd love to bring it in to the schools for just a little curriculum set. And then I guess it's called the Idea Bank up there in Troy, that Troy University's doing this on the square now. There is an individual there that one of their idea is they want to make board games. And they have offered to work with somebody to maybe make some kind of trivia-like word game that maybe we could get 2 or 3 of them made and send them out to the schools to go along with people to work on that. So some good ideas, just trying to get it all together and make sure we're getting everybody involved that needs to be involved. So we're working on it.
Anything else? Okay, thank you. Alan and Richard. Or Richard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Evening, my name is Lee Calhoun.
to the county in connection with these loans from Florida Banking Trust Company. So as you've all seen, we have two resolutions here authorizing these financings. The aggregate amount of the two loans is $30,512,000. I know you guys have had copies of the resolutions and hopefully have had an opportunity to review. I'd be pleased to answer any questions that you may have, or if you want me to talk a little bit more about the loans, I'd be glad to do that. Just let me know, Mr. Chairman.
Brief overview.
I would understand.
Give us a brief
I need a
overview.
brief.
Okay, so we have one loan is in the amount of, and this is, again, detailed resolutions, it's in the amount of $21,312,000. That one is evidenced by a limited obligation warrant of the county, secured by a pledge of the special sales and use tax that the county's levied. The interest rate is 3% for the first 5 years, and that includes a 2-year construction period. Then after that, the interest rate would convert to 3.625% until maturity on June 1, 2038. The other loan, which is covered by the other resolution, would be in the amount of up to $9,200,000. It would be evidenced by a general obligation warrant of the county, secured by a pledge with the full faith and credit of the county. The interest rate on this one is also 3% for the first 5 years. Again, it also has a 2-year construction period. These construction periods would be interest only. And then the amortization period comes after that, where substantially equal monthly payments would be due. So this one also converts to a rate of 3.625% after that initial 5-year period, until it remains at that rate until June 1, 2038, and then after that, the rate would be adjusted annually based on the prime rate as quoted in the Wall Street Journal. So we're talking about these, kind of together, but again, they're two separate resolutions. So we'd ask that the commission take action separately, and just to dot all the i's and cross the t's, we would ask that the commission, by unanimous consent, suspend any rule that would otherwise prevent immediate consideration of the resolutions.
Any more questions? Comments? Thank you, Mr. Calhoun.
Thank you.
Anything else need to come before the commission at this time? The Pike County Commission work session will now come to a close, and we'll reconvene at 6 p.m. for the regular meeting.
Well, we were just talking about how we discussed last week, adding to the agenda